Hey guys, Josh here, and today I'm going to share with you the meditation philosophy that I have developed over the last 13 years of my meditation practice. I've got a lot to cover with you today, so I want to dive straight into it. I don't want to waste any time, so let's get started. Here is my meditation philosophy and what I've learned over the last 13 years in my meditation practice. Before I get into all of that, I want to introduce myself. My name is Josh Holiday. I'm a meditation teacher and I'm a mindset coach, and I've been meditating for over 13 years now. And just recently, the last couple of years, I've started my meditation coaching business. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you how I went from an anxious teenager, someone who was lost and feeling purposeless, someone who was leaning on alcohol to fill a void within myself, to now being a six-figure business owner, thanks to the practice of meditation. So you can see here, last financial year, I did 104,000 in revenue with my meditation coaching business. So all of this has been possible through my meditation practice. Now, I want to just share with you who this video is for, right? So this video is for you if you're an open-minded, free-spirited person who wants stronger self-confidence, stronger self-awareness, and stronger self-belief. This is for you if you feel like there's more to life and you're just not quite tapped into it just yet. And it's also for you if you want to activate that limitless potential and higher purpose you know that you have within yourself. So make sure you watch this through till the end, because I have an awesome opportunity for you that we're going to help you take your life to the next level. That's going to be at the end of this training. So make sure you stick around for that. But the first thing I want to do is share with you a bit more about my story so you can see where I was before I started practicing meditation. When I was a teenager, my parents split up and I'm the eldest of a big family. So I took that on pretty hard during those formative years of my life. It led me to rebellion and I was a troublemaker, right? It's only in hindsight that I realized I was acting out, I was rebelling, I was being a troublemaker because I wasn't getting the emotional attention that I was needing at that time. And I didn't actually know how to give that to myself. And so that's why I started meditation, right? By the time I hit 17, I had already been in a lot of trouble with schools. I dropped out of 2 schools, and even I got in trouble with the police, right? I've spent nights in the watch house, and I really was feeling lost and confused and anxious and unsure of myself when I was that 17-year-old version of myself. I didn't really know myself. I didn't know who I was, or what I was here to be doing, but I did know that there had to be more to life. I had a deep inner knowing that there had to be more. It couldn't just be what I was experiencing, right? This confusion, this anxiousness, this lostness. And that's when I started my meditation practice, right? And that's also when everything began to change, right? Now, if you have a meditation practice, you might have experienced what I'm about to share with you. The first notable thing that happened in my meditation practice is a shift in my perspective of the external world around me, right? Not so much what was happening internally, but actually a shift in what I was perceiving externally. I remember vividly the colors became brighter and more luminous. They seemed to have a freshness and a pop about them that I hadn't realized before. And I used to ride my bike to work every day. So I vividly remember the trees, the clouds, the sky, and the whole world around me looked literally quite different. It was like this freshness, this pop, this lightness came into my life. It was literally as if I had some kind of a waking up experience to the beauty of the world. This was when I was 17, coming on 18 now. I remember riding my bike to work every day and going, whoa, this is beautiful. I would go to meditate on the beach every morning. I was fortunate enough to live close to the beach, go to the beach, do my meditation, and then ride to work going, wow, like this is beautiful. So maybe you resonate with that. Maybe you relate with that. Maybe you've had an experience like that for yourself in the beginning of your meditation practice, or maybe a bit further into it. But yeah, very cool thing. That's the first notable thing that happened to me. But that was just the beginning, right? And that's over 10 years ago now. So there's been a lot that has taken place since then. Thanks to meditation, I have overcome my addictions, right? I really used to struggle with drinking. When I was in my early 20s, I had a big problem with drinking alcohol. My dad is an alcoholic. My mum drank a lot. And I had this, fear and this anxiousness that I was going to become like that as well, that I wouldn't be able to control myself and that it was my destiny to just be an alcoholic as well. But meditation has helped me to overcome those addictions and get more connected with who I truly am, which means, I don't have to be at the mercy of the vices and the addictions and the alcohol, right? But in my early 20s, it was still a big problem. I was still trying to find myself, even while I was meditating in the beginning. But as you're going to see, I attribute a lot of the good in my life to my meditation practice. My meditation practice helped me to develop the discipline to meditate every day, which then helped me to have the confidence to know that if I can meditate every day, I can also not drink every day. If I can choose to meditate every day, I can also choose to not drink alcohol on a daily basis. So that was really helpful for me. I've also overcome fear and anxiety about extreme issues such as life and death, which have helped me to manage my emotions in all other areas of life as well. When I was young, I knew that people in my life were going to die. I also knew that I was going to die, and I didn't want to run away from that fact. I actually wanted to confront that head on. And so my meditation practice has helped me understand the nature of reality, the truth that we will all die, and the truth that people will die, and it will be sad, and there will be grief, and there will be loss, and there will be pain. But ultimately, we need to learn how to manage that. And so I really attribute my meditation practice to helping me learn how to manage death and therefore life as well, so that I can live fully and really go after the life that I want, right? Without fear, without anxiety. And I've also become confident enough within myself to start and grow my meditation coaching business to over 6 figures in revenue last financial year, right? And so obviously that's got a lot to do with the meditation, because if I wasn't teaching meditation, I wouldn't have done that. But this is my purpose. Meditation I feel like has been gifted to me by some kind of divine design. It's really my purpose, and I feel very fortunate to do that. But if I hadn't had started meditating consistently, daily, getting my practice up, getting my discipline up, I might not have the confidence to actually go and start the business, right? Because starting a business takes confidence. You need to be willing to go and give it a crack. And so because I was doing my meditation every day, I knew that I could do things, and I could do hard things, and I could do things consistently, which has helped me with my work ethic and business as well, right? So that's been helpful. And over that period of time, over the last 13 years, I've really come to understand a few key points of interest within the practice of meditation, and I'm going to share them with you now. So these are some key points of interest that have really dropped in for me as truth, and things that have helped me, have this awakening experience and come into a relationship with with enlightenment, really. So I claim this as my own personal meditation philosophy, although I acknowledge the ancient lineage of teachers who have passed down this practice through the ages. Now, I claim this as my own because I have come to realize these things on my own in my own personal meditation practice. If anyone has taught me the stuff that I'm about to teach you, I would have to say that would be something like God, or a divine awareness, or a divine understanding that has come in to me. I didn't have any external teachers. I had one meditation teacher actually who gave me my certification, my little diploma, which is over there, that says you're a meditation teacher. But I didn't really take my philosophy from him. I more took confidence from him that if he was doing this as a job, then I could do it as a job. But what I'm about to teach you, the philosophy side of things, my understanding of meditation and spirituality, this has come through divine awareness. Yeah, through connecting inwards with myself. It wasn't taught to me by any external guru or teacher, but instead it came from within through this inner knowing. And I want to make it very clear to you that you all have access to this within yourself, and you don't need me to tell you if you're willing to simply sit and be with yourself in a regular practice. You will come to understand this as an embodied knowing within yourself, right? And within your own time. You don't need me, but I'm here because when I first started, I read a blog post which kickstarted my meditation practice and changed my life forever. So if I can make this video and share some things that I've learned, maybe it will change just one person's life and kick them into a meditation practice, kickstart them into a meditation practice. And I know that if someone does meditation for a consistent amount of time, for a long period of time, their life will change. So with that being said, here's a brief overview of what I'm going to share with you. First of all, we're going to talk about self-discovery. Then we're going to talk about separateness and togetherness. And then finally, we'll talk about the senses. So these are senses that I anchor into in my meditation practice that are kind of like doorways to the present moment and to a greater understanding of the nature of reality and who we really are and what we really are. So that's what we're going to talk about now. So let's dive into it. The self-discovery. The journey of meditation practice is really a journey of self-discovery, right? It's a practice that brings you into a deeper and deeper knowing of who you really are, and better yet, what you really are. So through my meditation practice, I've come to know myself not just as the labels of who I am, so Josh Holiday, I'm a son, brother, teacher, coach, father, husband, but I've come to know myself as something else entirely. I've come to realize myself as consciousness or as beingness. And at the very core of who I am, there is simply an awareness. So in the beginning of me, there is just awareness. And after awareness comes the labels, the ideas, the identity, the thoughts, the feelings, the beliefs, but all of that is secondary to the awareness. This is what I've come to realize through my self-discovery journey. It's not just me like this, right? Josh Holiday, all these labels, all these thoughts of who I am. No, there's that, and then there is the awareness of that. And what I've come to realize through my self-discovery journey is that what I really am, who I really am, is the awareness of the identity. It's the awareness of the thoughts, the feelings, the beliefs, the ego. What I really am is the awareness, the consciousness of that. And it's empowering to know yourself at this level, because when you do, you create a connection with the part of yourself that is aware. And through that awareness, you can develop your ability to choose consciously. So when you create this initial separation, you realize that you are the awareness of the self, of the ego, of the identity, of the beliefs, of the thoughts. It's an empowering thing to realize, because then you have more control over it, almost like a puppet master, right? You connect with this part of yourself. This part of yourself is the self, is the identity. You connect with the awareness and you become the controller or the master of the identity of the self. You can choose which thoughts to hold and which to let go. You can choose to process your feelings in a healthy way. You can choose your belief systems and your identity. And it is a powerful way to be in the world. You're not trapped in the ego. You're not trapped in the sleeping state. You're awake and you're in control, right? You have a new level of self-awareness. You've discovered who you really are, and that's going to be helpful for you when it comes to self-mastery. And that is a powerful way to be in the world. So once I had that initial self-discovery process, I began to realize that I am not separate to the rest of the world. So this feeling of being separate is what creates a lot of fear and anxiety in people, right? This is what created a lot of fear and anxiety in myself in the beginning, right? I felt the fear, I felt the anxiety because I felt like I was separate. I felt like I was alone. Now, in meditation, you realize you are not separate. You realize you are completely together with the rest of the world. You are one with it all. This comes as you connect with that deeper level of awareness that I mentioned. So when you're in your ego, you're separate to the world. It's you against everything else. That's the ego. When you have that initial separation and you connect with this higher level of awareness or this deeper level of awareness, you realize that you are one with it all, because all of life also has this awareness, this consciousness. Every other person has a level of awareness, a level of beingness to them. Animals, plants, the whole world, people, they all have a consciousness, and we all share this consciousness. So when you connect with the consciousness, the presence, the awareness, the beingness that you are, that is when you also connect with the togetherness, the wholeness, the oneness of everything. And that is the antidote to fear and anxiety, because when you're not separate anymore, all of a sudden you're together, you're complete, you're whole, you're one. When we move back behind the ego and our identity, when we let go of who we think we are, we can connect with what we truly are. This is possible to know when you are connected with that deeper level of self-awareness. We move past the idea of separateness. We realize our wholeness. We realize our togetherness. And like I said, this is the cure for fear and anxiety. Fear, you're afraid or you're anxious because you feel like you're separate. You feel like that there's something that you're not doing. There's no one to love you. There's no you're not already complete the way you are. There's something missing, which creates fear, which creates separation. But that's not true. You're already whole. You're already together. You're already complete. You just haven't realized it yet because you maybe haven't connected with that part of yourself. And so to really grasp the togetherness, you need to let go of the separateness. Your new life will cost you your old one. So you need to let go of the ego. You need to let go of who you currently think you are. Let go of this idea that you are separate, that you are alone. And instead connect with the consciousness, the beingness, the togetherness that is already whole, that is already within you, that you have access to, that everyone has access to. Your new life's going to cost you your old one, though. You've got to let go of that sense of self. And this is actually the thing that's scary for a lot of people. People don't want to let go of that sense of self because it's who they are. Everything that they know is kind of packaged up into this idea of who you are. And you make all of your meaning of the world based off that. It gives you a sense of, well, this is who I am. I can't change that. But you can. And your life will get better when you do. You don't need to attach to who you think you are. In most cases, it's giving you a limited experience of what you really are because it's so isolated. It's so separate. This is me. This is what I wear. This is how I act. This is who I am. This is what makes me me, right? But you're not really connecting to that deeper level of who you are. And when you do, that's when you can create that limitless life because there are no limits when you're connected to everything else. And when you're identified as everything and also as the self, right? So there's a lot of paradoxes in spirituality. You've got to make that initial separation if you want to understand a full togetherness and wholeness. So it's kind of a paradox, right? It's like, well, I have to make that. You have to separate firstly from the ego to reconnect with it in a more whole and complete way. It's kind of like a rebirthing or an awakening experience, right? And for men, women to have this awakening experience, you need to let the old self die. You need to let the little self die. And we're talking obviously like a metaphorical death here, right? You're not actually going to die. Although you might think that you are, it might be that extreme that you actually don't want to let go because you think maybe it will be death. But I'll tell you, it's not going to be like that, right? When you can let go, you will awaken. You will be reborn into a new version of yourself, which is beautiful, which is absolutely beautiful. A more high vibration, a more high energy person, right? A beautiful, beautiful, beautiful version of yourself. But like I said, it's hard for some people to do because they're so attached to their ego. And this is the version of you which I like to call the little self, right? We all have a little self. I have a little self, Josh Holiday, right? That's my little self. I still wear these certain clothes and I still, do these certain things that I do in my life. And I still have an idea of my ego. I'm not in like a challenge with my ego. I love my ego, right? I'm fully accepting of who I am as a person. And I also realize that I have this big self, this like awareness, beingness, wholly connected version of myself or part of myself, I should say. And that's the big self. So we both have, we all have this like little self and this big self. And so you want to kind of develop a better relationship with the big self. And that's ultimately going to help you be a better version of you as a little self as well. The big self understands all that is and is connected to all that is. The big self is all that there is. It's you, it's the energy, it's the trees, it's the plants, the air, it's everything. Everything is one, and that is the big self, right? It's the consciousness, it's the beingness that is aware of everything else. It's the realization of oneness and togetherness. It's the opposite of fear, anxiety, and separateness. It's love, it's unity, and it's peace. And in your meditation practice, you can work on connecting to the big self. And if there was a goal for meditation, if there was a primary focus for your meditation practice, I would encourage it to be this. Don't meditate because you want to, manifest a better life. Don't meditate because you want to become less stressed or less anxious. Meditate because you want to connect with the oneness that you are. Meditate to be connected to that divine part of yourself, to be in a relationship with the divinity within you. That's the only reason to meditate. To remember who and what you truly are. So, at this stage, you might be thinking, wow, that all sounds amazing and it rings true somewhere within me. Maybe as I was speaking, you were like, yeah, that sounds true. You're not quite sure how, you're not quite sure like how to put your finger on it, but it sounds true. But how do I connect with that part of myself? You might be asking, what do I need to do? This brings me to the senses, right? And in the next part of this presentation, I'm going to show you the doors that you can walk through to connect with that part of yourself. The senses, right? This is my kind of philosophy that I've developed. I've heard people talk about it before, but not in the same way. This is something that has honestly come through me from, some greater intelligence. I'm in no way claiming to have like created this, more so being gifted it somehow through some kind of divine understanding and divine design. But yeah, this is my philosophy around meditation. This is how I meditate, right? These are the anchors and the kind of pillars, the foundations that I have built my meditation practice on. And I'm sharing them with you today because I hope that they will help you in developing and strengthening your meditation practice and connecting with the presence within you, beingness within you, right? That's really my aim here. So let's start with the breath. Your breath is one of the most simple and effective ways for you to connect with a deeper understanding of the divine and your place within it. A simple inhale and exhale shows you all that is. You can practice right now. Take one inhale and one exhale. And now do it again. One inhale, one exhale. Pay attention to how you feel. The subtle shift in energy from the inhale and the exhale. The inhale will feel a little bit different than the exhale. They're going to have their own kind of unique energetic signature. And that is because an inhale and an exhale shows you the polarity of life, the in and the out, the up and the down, the holding on, the letting go, the expansion, the contraction, the yin and the yang. That inhale is really kind of like a yang energy. It's really active. Whereas the exhale is more of that yin, kind of passive, letting go energy. You can find all of the secrets in the universe in a simple breath. It connects you to the more subtle energy systems in your body. And now when in meditation, I encourage you to practice connecting with your breath mindfully. You don't need to do like a long breathwork practice and hyperventilate and do all that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I've done a lot of breathwork practices in my life and I love breathwork. It's great. It's a really cool tool to use, but you don't need it for attaining enlightenment or awakening, right? All you need is one breath. And so the breath is like the anchor that you can come back to over and over again. And this has been true in my practice. I've come back to the breath over and over again, right? And it's been powerful for me in my practice. I'm very grateful for my breath. something I want to pass on to you. You can always reconnect with your breath. Your breath can always bring you into the present moment and anchor you in there at all times. So finally, about the breath, right? It's kind of like an old friend. You got to remember that you always have your breath with you and it's always there for you. Now, moving on to the next sense, which is the sense of listening. Your ability to hear brings you here. Deep listening is known and respected through many ancient cultures, and it is a doorway into the present. When you are in your meditation practice, make sure to become aware of the sounds around you. Maybe there's a bird, maybe there's rain, maybe there's a car, maybe there's a child screaming, maybe there's a plane overhead. When you hear, you are here. You want to listen to the sounds coming and going. You want to also listen to your own inner voice. What you'll realize is that sounds come and then they go. Thoughts come and then they go. When you listen deeply, you realize that life is transient. It's always in flow, coming and going. And this is powerful to realize. This is where you'll find more of the secrets of the universe, right? Life is in a constant flow. So when you listen and you become present and you hear the coming and the going of all of the noises, you can actually find the silence in the middle of it, amongst it all. And when you can do that, you will become present and you will connect with that deeper part of yourself, that beingness that is aware, right? The awareness. So when you listen, when you hear, you are here. Finally, feeling. Your feeling sense is vital to your well-being. The gift of being alive is your ability to feel. Whether it's the sun on your skin, the wind in your hair, or the warmth of love in your heart, right? When you are in meditation, you want to come into a connection with your feeling sense. You must open yourself to feeling, feel all the goodness, and allow yourself to feel what you may perceive to be bad as well. Through feeling comes healing. When I'm in my meditation practice, I'm allowing myself to feel everything. I'm not avoiding anything, right? I know a lot of people I work with, they tell me they don't want to feel certain things. I don't want to feel this way anymore. I don't want to feel this way. That's avoiding your feelings, right? That's not feeling. That's avoiding the feeling. And so what we need to do and what we can do in our meditation practice is develop our ability to feel. And that means feeling all the good stuff, right? Feeling all the love, feeling all the joy, feeling all the happiness, the warmth of the sun, right? The breeze of the air. And also feeling all of the bad stuff, or what we perceive to be bad stuff, feeling the pain, feeling the anxiety, feeling the shame, feeling the guilt. In a mindful practice, when you can be present with your feelings in a safe environment, it allows you to process and it allows you to heal. And so that's why feeling is so important, right? And when you're connected to your feeling, you start to also be connected to these subtle energy systems in your body even more so. You get connected to your emotions. And when you learn to manage your emotions are just energy in motion, and you're just an energetic being. And so when you master your feeling, you master your life. So that's breathing, listening, and feeling, right? These are all practices. Breathing, listening, feeling. These are all, sensory experiences that you have are always available to you that can bring you into a meditative and present state of being. If I just take a moment to become aware of how I feel right now, I can feel that my butt hurts because I've been sitting on this chair for a little while. I can feel my mouth is a little bit dry because I'm out of water. I didn't fill up my water before recording this video. And that sense of feeling, that sense of awareness that comes in is really presence. Same with the listening. I can hear the rain outside. I can hear my own voice coming and going. And I can breathe and become present and still. So those are the three feeling states, the three senses, the three anchors that you can use to come into the present moment. And these are the more traditional kind of meditative practices: breathing, listening, feeling. Now, this final one here, number 4, the imagination, is a little bit different, right? What we want to do is to finally allow yourself to wonder, allow yourself to imagine a better future and a vision for your dreams in life. Now, this is not really a meditative practice that will bring you into presence if you're thinking about the future. But what's going to happen in your meditation practice is that your mind will wander. Now, your imagination is your key to creativity and designing the life that you dream of living. And in meditation, there's often this idea that one must stop the thinking. But in my philosophy, that is not necessary. You don't need to stop the thinking. You simply need to allow the thinking to happen. Allow the thinking, accept the thinking, come into a better relationship with your thoughts instead of trying to stop them. When you try to stop them, you're trying to resist them, and that's not necessarily going to work. Doesn't mean that you need to agree with all of your thoughts, because if you have bad thoughts and negative thoughts, you don't need to agree with them or let yourself wander off into imagination about all the bad thoughts. This is where presence comes in handy, because presence helps you focus, helps you choose, helps you become aware of what thought am I having. And then once you know what thought you're having, you can choose a different thought. So this is why this one's last as well. But when you're in the imagination, it requires you to think without judgment and to think without attachment. You watch the thoughts. You remember, you're not the thoughts. You're the awareness of the thoughts. So you watch the thoughts and you allow yourself to dream mindfully. Your thoughts and your consciousness are incredible tools that you have to create and influence the experience of your reality. You want to live a different life, you can imagine a different life, and then you can create a different life. You want to use that tool wisely. Use the tool of your thoughts and your consciousness wisely. Develop your meditation practice by allowing yourself to dream of a better future instead of staying stuck in the memories of the past. If you have memories of the past that keep coming up, go back to number 3. Feel them. Feel what needs to be felt. Process the emotions. And then return to presence, and then return to a better vision for the future. So that's my meditation philosophy. And that's what I can share with you that I have learned in my own practice over the last 13 years. So at the beginning there, we talked about self-discovery, separateness, togetherness. That's more of the philosophy, right? That's more of the theory of what's possible, right? And then the second half of that, we talked about the senses, right? So your actual doorway into presence so that you can have that awareness of wholeness, of beingness, of consciousness. Those senses are what I consider the doorways into presence, which is the way that you're going to achieve this kind of deeper understanding, this deeper awareness of your own beingness. So my suggested frequency for practice is at least 10 minutes a day for 80% of the day, 80% of the time. So for example, 5 out of 7 days per week. Obviously, if you can meditate every day, that's ideal, but I honestly haven't, right? In 13 years, I've not meditated every single day. I've probably meditated about 80% of the time. Maybe even a bit less, to be honest, maybe 75% of the time. I go through different seasons in life, right? Sometimes I meditate a lot and sometimes I meditate less. I'm not attached to the practice of meditation. Instead, I see it as something I'm in a constant relationship with, and I encourage you to develop this kind of relationship as well. And that's it, 10 minutes a day, 80% of the time. If you can do that, that in itself is enough to change your life. Now, I want to share with you some case studies and some reviews from clients who I have shared these teachings with, because this is how I've helped Antoinette recapture a feeling of endless possibilities, function at a higher potential, and develop what she calls next level self-confidence. So I worked with Antoinette a couple of years ago. She's a great coaching client. She's had some awesome results. You can watch her testimonial on YouTube there. Before we worked together, she felt uninspired and as if she wasn't functioning at the potential she knew she could. And then once we had been finished, right, she had that feeling of endless possibilities. She had that next level self-confidence. And as you can see, she's quite happy in the testimonial that she recorded for me. This is also how I helped Jimmy to develop that next level self-confidence and self-awareness, while also growing his mental health awareness brand called Think Mental to over 50,000 followers on Instagram. Jimmy was feeling imposter syndrome, anxiety, and self-doubt before we started working together. but now he knows his worth, and that shows in his personal brand here. He's doing some awesome work. Jimmy is a legend. I've helped him with some coaching, helped him to get his meditation practice really firing on all cylinders so that he can discover who he really is and develop that self-confidence, which is super important for anyone, whether you're in business or not. This is the same way that I helped Amanda overcome the fear of judgment from others, because, she has her theta healing certification. And so she really wanted to launch her healing business. Before I started working with Amanda, she had already got a great skill set. She had already great self-awareness, but she was scared to make content. She was scared to give offers. She was scared to put herself out there. And now, after doing some work together, she feels totally confident in herself with no fear. And she said she feels relaxed, balanced, and in her power, which is awesome, right? I'm stoked for Amanda. I love working with people like Amanda because I know that they have in their heart a desire to make a positive impact in the world, and I share that desire myself. So it's awesome when I get to work with people like Amanda and help her to also bring the positive vibes and the high vibes to the world. So that's what we want. Finally, I've also helped Brianna, director of Breathe School. She was struggling with inconsistency and an overcomplicated life, and feeling like everything was too serious all the time, to now standing on her own 2 feet in business, feeling disciplined and having a lot of fun with it as well. That was something that she said was important, right? She wanted to be having fun in her business, when she felt like in the past, discipline, consistency, these kinds of things, they weren't actually fun. But when you're in business, you got to have those things. So we worked on that together, and she's doing amazing work. As you can see, really, really cool work that she's doing as well. So you may already feel like you're self-aware, but you still feel stuck. Maybe you've got the big goals, you got the dreams, you got the visions for the future, but they're just so big. Maybe they make you scared, or maybe you're unsure of what other people will think, or maybe they're just straight up overwhelming and they make you feel comfortable. I get it. When I first started meditation and doing this inner work on myself, I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell anyone for the first 5 years or so. Right. And it's only after 10 years that I did my meditation practice teacher training. And then, it's only in the last few years of my 13-year practice that I've really been like outward facing with this meditation practice and with the teaching and the coaching. So, if you feel like you've got more potential to fulfill, you're not operating there yet, and you want to break through, you want to have a breakthrough in your life and business, then I get it, right? You probably know that there's more to life, and yet you're feeling uninspired right now. Or maybe you are feeling inspired, but you're not sure what to do, a bit of lacking clarity. You want to take some action, you want to do something different, but you're not 100% sure what that is. And maybe you want to grow your business or excel in your career and relationships, but there's just some underlying anxiety that's holding you back. I get it. You've watched this so far, so you know my story. I totally understand where you're at with that. I've been through that before, and I get it. Another thing you've probably tried is, certain things to help, right? You're watching this YouTube video now. Maybe you watch other YouTube videos. Maybe you have somewhat of a healthy lifestyle. Maybe you read books, you listen to podcasts, so you know what's going on in the personal development area, but you don't know why you still feel so average or unfulfilled. You've been to workshops, you've tried different strategies, you've watched the YouTube videos, like I just said. These are all really common things I hear, so there's no need to feel bad about it. But I want you to know that there is another way, and I'm going to share with you exactly how I do it with my coaching clients. Like I said, right, you can just do meditation on your own. Go for it. It changed my life, and it will change yours too. I'm confident about that. It took me 13 years to get to the stage that I'm at now, right? And so why I do coaching is because I want to help you fast track that process. So absolutely, it's free to meditate. Go and do meditation if you want. And it will help you 100%. It will make your life better. But if you want to do it faster and you want to do some coaching, then this is the way that I structure my coaching process. This is the same coaching process that I take all of those clients I just shared with you through. And I'm going to walk you through it now, right? This is a 3-stage process. First process is stage 1, the self-discovery process, right? And this is where we coach you on how to overcome imposter syndrome, self-doubt, and anxiety by connecting with your higher purpose, your confidence, and who you truly are. So this is the bulk of the process, right? The self-discovery. We're working on that, getting you into a better relationship with yourself, getting yourself to know who you really are and what you're really capable of. This is powerful, right? This is where you start to identify your purpose. Where you start to identify what it means for you to be living a fulfilled and meaningful life. And then we move up to stage 2, which is identity alchemy. This is where we start to use identity alchemy to activate your true self, right? This means we'll be moving away from the version of you that feels like you're not functioning at your potential, and we'll be moving towards the best version of you. This is the version of you that is operating at your highest potential, your highest vibration. And this is where you become the person that you know that you can be, so you can create the life you want for yourself, your family, and the people you're in service to. Now, finally, once that's done, once we've discovered who you are, once you've really activated that new identity within you, then we move on to stage 3, which is the business accelerator, right? So once we've done that, we can look at creating a plan to grow your business, fix that work-life balance that is draining you and leaving you uninspired and unfulfilled. If you're not in business, but you're in a career, this is the same thing, career accelerator, right? We use the business accelerator to create a clear plan for you towards financial and business success, so you can feel confident that a life of freedom is within your reach. And that's the whole process, right? This is what I've built over the last few years. This is what I know works. I've got lots of testimonials to show you that. And really, if that's interesting for you, if you think that this is a good process, if you think, yep, that sounds like actually something that would really help me, and you've listened to me talk now for a little while, you've seen my processes, you've seen my philosophy, then there are 2 options for coaching with me through this process. Number 1, you can coach with me one-on-one for 6 months. Right, this is where you and me have a very high touch one-on-one relationship where I help you, create some plans and achieve your goals and move past whatever challenges you're currently facing, so that you can move towards the desire that I know is within your heart. I know because I've had it there before, and I've talked to and helped a lot of people who have also had that desire. Now, the other option is you can join the group coaching program for 12 months minimum. Right. And this is where I have a group coaching program called the Mind Launch Academy. We have got about 26 members in there at the moment. They're all awesome people. They're either aspiring entrepreneurs or career professionals. They're wanting to go on this journey of self-discovery, and they're really open spiritually. And so they're awesome to, have there for support. Everyone's working on similar stuff. So it's really cool to feel the sense of community there in the academy. And that's 12 months, because when we're not working as closely, the process is not going to go as fast. In most cases, if you're super active and you're super engaged, you want to get in, you're going to get stuck in and do it all by yourself, then that's an awesome option. But if you want someone to give you some more support, then you can work with me. Either way, you're going to be getting high touch, support and accountability. When you're working with me, it's me and you doing calls every other week, every fortnight. Plus group calls. And if you just want to do the group coaching program, then you get the group calls every week, plus, all the other education and all the other programs and the community and everything else that's in there as well. So on those group coaching calls, you still get a chance to be with me one-on-one, because I run all of those. So that's that. Now, there are payment plans or pay in full options for both. And from my experience over the last few years, this is the ideal time frame for creating long-term and sustainable change in your life. And honestly, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for creating long-term and sustainable change in your life. I don't do like 3-month programs or 6-week programs. I've done a few of them in the past, and I'm not interested in doing that, because I want to actually create long-term change for you. And I know sometimes you go through those programs, you go to the end of 6 weeks, and you're like, well, that was fun, but I'm all done now, and you go back to your old ways. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in long-term sustainable change, so that you can create a life of freedom for yourself, so that you can create your reality in whatever way it is that you want. I know that you're unique. You're going to have your own unique desires. And so I've tailored the program to really cater to that. So that's it. If it sounds like you want to do some coaching, sounds like you're ready to get started, then book a call with me using the link below this video. On that call, we're just going to have a chat, see if it's going to be worthwhile. Once you book the call, before we get on the call, I'll send you over everything that you need to know, right? I'll send you over all the details about the coaching. I'll send you over a video to watch before you get on the coaching call. So you'll have everything that you need before you get on that call. So it's super transparent, super open. Book a call with me using the link below this video. And then on that call, it's not going to be a hard push or anything. It's going to be a casual call to help you get clarity on your life, how you can stop feeling like things just aren't clicking, and start to launch your mind, your life, and your work to the next level. I honestly need to do these discovery calls just to make sure that we're a good fit, and it feels, good. If it feels like we're going to be in a good relationship, then awesome. If not, no worries. Hakuna Matata. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to try and enter into a relationship if it doesn't feel like it's going to be good for both of us, right? So if you don't want to get on a call, but you want to learn more, then just DM me launch or just book the call and I'll send you all the information that you need to know. And then if it doesn't look like you want to do it, then you don't have to show up for the call. You can let me know that you're not going to show up, and yeah, we don't have to do the call. But contact me so that I can send you all the details, right? Whether that's by booking a call, whether that's by DMing me on Instagram, get in touch. I'll send you the info, and then from there we can look at creating a plan for you. So that's it. That is my meditation philosophy. That's my coaching process. And if that's interesting for you, make sure you get in touch. Go book a call now. I'll send you all the information and we can get started. Thanks for watching. Bye.